How do you explain to someone that a game can be haunted? Sonic.X, Ben Drowned, Lavender Town, all just creepy internet stories, right? That's what I used to think. Back in 2013, my older brother Lucas and I would laugh about how ridiculous those so-called haunted games were. Bleeding red eyes, distorted characters, eerie music. It was also over the top, campy, stupid, but fun. At least it was, until it wasn't. I live near the town park, where every year there's a massive car boot sale. People come to sell their old stuff, and Lucas and I would always go hunting for rare, weird games. We fancied ourselves as the next big gaming YouTubers. Even though we only had about 10 subscribers, we'd buy these old, obscure games, hoping to find something so bad it was funny. One year, back in 2015, we found something different. I was only 7 at the time, but I remember it vividly. Lucas was digging through a box of old NES games when he pulled out a cartridge with no label. He held it up, grinning. "Hey, Chris, look at this. It's a creepypasta waiting to happen." I laughed along with him. Maybe it's a haunted Mega Man game or something. The old man selling the games just shrugged. He said his son had left them behind when he moved out, and he was clearing out the house. We bought the unlabeled game, thinking it'd be another joke to laugh about. But that was the last day I saw Lucas as the brother I knew. After he played that game, he changed. He became jumpy, paranoid, and distant. I kept asking him what was wrong, but he'd just shrug it off. "It's nothing," he'd say. "The game's just broken." But I knew something was off. Then he got sick. Really sick. The kind of sickness that drains the life out of you. His hair fell out, his face turned pale and gaunt, and he looked skeletal. It happened so fast. One day, I woke up to my mom screaming, my dad telling me to stay back, not to look in Lucas's room. I don't remember much after that, and maybe that's for the best. But recently, I remembered the game. That unlabeled NES cartridge. I remembered how Lucas had changed after playing it. It couldn't be real, could it? A haunted game. No way. But the thought wouldn't leave me alone. I decided to find out for myself. I went to Lucas's room, which had been left untouched for years. It was like a time capsule. His NES, his games, his figures, all still there. I opened the NES and froze. The unlabeled cartridge was still inside. Why would he leave it there? Unless something had scared him away from it. I plugged the NES into the TV, my hands shaking as I gripped the controller. The screen stayed black, but I could tell it was receiving a signal. I sighed, feeling stupid. "This is ridiculous," I muttered. "It's just an old game." Then the screen flickered. "Sorry." My blood ran cold. The word appeared in bold, red letters. I stared at the screen, my heart pounding. "What the?" I whispered. The screen flickered again. I panicked, scrambling to unplug the NES. My breathing was ragged, my hands trembling. "This isn't real," I said, more to myself than anything. "You're not real." But as I yanked the power cord, the screen flashed one last time. I stumbled back, staring at the unplugged console. How was this possible? The NES had no power, no way to display anything. My mind raced as I tried to make sense of what just happened. Did this thing kill Lucas? Was it trying to talk to me? I grabbed the NES and ran outside, determined to get rid of it. I was about to throw it in the trash when I heard a voice behind me. "Hey, what's that?" I turned to see my neighbor, Harry, a skater kid with a red beanie and a curious grin. He was always into weird stuff, and I'd seen him dumpster diving before. "Nothing," I said quickly. "It's just Broken. Harry raised an eyebrow. Broken? Dude, that's an NES. I could fix it. I shook my head. No, you don't understand. This thing, it's dangerous. Harry laughed. Dangerous? It's a game console, not a grenade. He walked off, but I had a sinking feeling he'd be back. The next morning, my mom told me someone had been in our trash. I ran outside and saw the NES was gone. My heart sank. Harry had taken it. I found his YouTube channel, Spooky Gaming, and watched his latest video. There it was, the NES, plugged into his CRT TV. The screen flickered with the same red text I'd seen. Harry was laughing, treating it like some kind of joke. But I knew better. I stormed over to his house, demanding he give the NES back. Harry tried to play it cool, but I wasn't having it. That thing killed my brother, I said, my voice shaking. You don't understand what it's capable of. Harry looked at me, his usual smirk fading. Dude, I've played tons of these haunted games. They can't hurt you. They're just weird. He showed me his collection. Dozens of cursed games. Each one more disturbing than the last. But he was fine. Unharmed. Reluctantly, I let him test the NES. The screen flickered to life. Harry grinned. See? It's just a glitchy old game. But then the screen changed. I froze. What did you say? I whispered. Tears welled up in my eyes. You knew him. I knelt in front of the TV, my hands trembling. You were trying to help him? I wiped my eyes, feeling a strange sense of relief. It's okay, I said softly. I'm sorry too. Harry, for once, stayed quiet. He handed me a controller. Want to play something normal? Mario Kart, maybe? I nodded, managing a small smile. Yeah, that sounds good. As we played, the CRT flickered one last time.